Hey everyone, Ian Bennett here with West Coast Fire Training. Today I am going to take a look at a first in fire that has been making the rounds on social media. I love this video because in my opinion it shows some of the best nozzle work I have seen in a while and really demonstrates what a firefighter can accomplish when they understand their tools and how to use them. Before we begin, I want to thank Kason Formby for being willing to share the raw footage with me. Kason is the nozzle firefighter in this video, and the citizens of Shreveport, Louisiana are lucky to have him. The video is just over a minute long, so I'm going to play it all the way through and then we will break it down. You will notice a timer in the lower left corner that starts once the line opens. I put this in so you can get a rough idea of how much water is being used. So, that was pretty awesome, wasn't it? Let's break this down and discuss what Kason and the other members of his crew did so well. Now, before we get into the details of the fire attack, I want you to look at this initial picture and ask yourself before watching this video, what size line would you have used for your initial attack? Would it have been a deck gun, maybe a ram, a 2.5, or would you have done what this crew did and go for the 1 3/4? Be honest. Judging by the comments I've seen and the discussions I've had, I would guess that a decent number of you would have chosen something bigger than the 1 3/4. Think about why you would, and now let's look at the fire attack. So the first thing that is done well is the firefighter uses the reach of the stream. This is a lot of fire in the front of the house, and even if you don't feel the heat through your gear, it's important to use the reach of the stream. I've personally seen guys burn their gear or get burned because they tried to get too close to a fire like this before opening the nozzle. Second, no water is wasted. All the water that comes out of the nozzle is being used to hit something that is on fire. Once something has stopped burning, the stream is moved to something that is still on fire or superheated. This might seem minor, but if you watch a lot of fire attack videos, you will see time and again folks putting water on surfaces that are already extinguished, rather than moving the stream to the next thing that is still on fire. Once the nozzle knocks down the fire on the porch, there is a choice. Spend time ensuring that the stuff on the porch is fully extinguished, or begin moving into the house. Anytime you're moving through an area that is flashed over, you should expect fire will regrow in certain areas because the surfaces have not been sufficiently cooled or because water didn't actually hit those areas. These might be hard to see at first due to steam. So as the nozzle, you have to choose if you want to advance or not. This is where a good backup is important. A good backup firefighter will keep an eye on spaces that the nozzle has moved through and call them back to control flare-ups if necessary, just like happens here. Now let's back this up and talk quickly about the metal security door. The glowing red color means the metal is over 1,000 degrees. This presents two main issues. First, when you use your hand to open the gate, you need to move fast. If you hold the door, it can burn your hand through your glove very quickly. Also, superheated metal can be hot enough to burn a hole in your hose line if you press the hose up against it, especially if you have cheap hose. Okay, we've jumped back one more time. The firefighters got the door open, and let's talk about his water application into the living room. If I wanted to be nitpicky, I would say he could have put a little more water on the floor right inside the door. But overall, again, this is a great attack. He does a good job distributing water all throughout the room, keeping the line high just inside the door. Make sure that the stream is going to travel along the ceiling and hit that back drywall that he's coming through. I also like the fact that he doesn't advance in too quickly. He stays kind of at the doorway, which allows his backup firefighter to get his attention when the stuff on the porch starts flaring up. So this is where the video ends. So we started with this, and 1 minute and 9 seconds after the nozzle opens, the fire is basically out. Of course, there are probably still a few hot spots and definitely some overhaul to do, but the real battle is over. Now, assuming a flow rate of roughly 150 gallons per minute, that means that this single firefighter put out this fire with roughly 170 gallons of water. Keep in mind that the standard urban fire engine carries around 500 gallons of water in its tank, and a lot of folks run with 750 gallons. That means that this firefighter put out this fire with less than half a tank of water. That's pretty awesome. But let's spend a few moments talking about why this is possible. First, this is a typical single-family residence, which means it is highly compartmentalized. This means the nozzle only has to address one box at a time, and each box is not that large. Second, the fire is not as large as it might seem at first. It looks impressive because it is venting out the front, but the fire is contained pretty much to the porch and the living room. And third, and far from least important, I want to emphasize that this is a big part of it, is the excellent nozzle work. Kason did an excellent job using his weapon to its maximum potential. A less skilled person could have easily used double the water and achieved less. So I hope this breakdown was useful. For more information on these topics, I recommend checking out the water mapping study and the interior attack study at fsri.org. Finally, I want to thank Kason again for being willing to share the video with me and congratulate him and his crew on such an excellent job. Take care. See you next time.